it's all okay. Having a range of friendships is part of having a healthy social world. Have you ever heard the expression, you need to have better boundaries, or you need to disclose more? They seem to be at odds, but let me explain. Hi, I'm Dr. Wendy Walsh. I have a PhD in clinical psychology. I'm a journalist, I'm a mother, and I'm happy to be here for you at Local Now. Can we talk about boundaries and personal disclosures? Because they're kind of two sides to the same thing. The first thing I want you to know is that having personal disclosures is the route to having emotional intimacy. And having emotional intimacy is what solidifies relationships, whether they be close friendships or whether they be deeply committed romantic partners. You have to show somebody yourself, right? And you have to disclose. On the other hand, in the early stages of a relationship or with many of the acquaintances you may have in your life, having clear boundaries about what's safe to disclose is really, really important. I want to say this about boundaries. You can't put boundaries on anybody else. We say that all the time. We say, don't call me, I have a boundary. Well, then don't pick up the phone. We can only put boundaries on ourselves. So that's important to understand. Secondly, growing a relationship is one about testing the waters, doing small personal disclosures, and then deciding whether you need to erect some boundaries around yourself. Whether somebody has clear boundaries or is comfortable with lots of personal disclosures has to do with our family upbringing and our ability to talk about tender feelings. For plenty of people, when either they hear personal disclosures, they feel uncomfortable because they're not accustomed to it, or when they give personal disclosures, they're so frightened because they're afraid of feeling ashamed or embarrassed if the person isn't able to take it in. Some people like me have what you call a high shame tolerance, meaning that I'm comfortable with personal disclosures, but that's just me. And the people you're talking to may have a wide range of ability to tolerate disclosures and tolerate feelings of shame. The most important thing to consider when you're thinking about boundaries versus disclosures is reciprocity. That means you start at the beginning by making a bid toward intimacy. That means saying some small little thing that's very personal. It's a low risk thing though, but it's kind of personal. And then you see how the other person responds. If they give you reciprocity, meaning that they respond with a like story, oh yeah, that happened to me too, I remember that. Oh yeah, and I had this other thing happen to me. Then you know that the door is open for increased intimacy. If, however, they change the subject quickly, or, God forbid, laugh, or try to make you feel like your personal disclosure isn't welcome, then you know it's time to erect a boundary with that person. And remember, you don't erect a boundary on them. You simply make a mental note to yourself, this isn't the person to share things with. You know, throughout life, we don't expect to have many, many close, intimate friends. I would say if you go across the lifespan and you end up with 5 intimate friends, you're doing pretty well. And my best definition of an intimate friend is somebody you can call at 3 a.m. or somebody who will actually drive you to the airport. But otherwise, most of our friends are different levels of closeness. Some are just, shared activity friends. We go to a yoga class with them, or they're in the gardening club with us. Other people are historic friends, those who knew you when, and when you get back on the phone with them, it feels like you're in high school together again or in college together. But not every friend is meant to be a close, intimate friend. And it's all okay. Having a range of friendships is part of having a healthy social world. So don't be afraid. Test the boundaries a bit. Make a bid for intimacy by giving a tiny personal disclosure and seeing what someone's reaction is. Good luck. You might form a new close friend. I'm Dr. Wendy Walsh. Thanks so much for being here. I am here regularly at Local Now. If you'd like to follow me on my social media, it's at Dr. Wendy Walsh. We'll see you next time.